part about this is I went back through a lot of this stuff, and if I had it in top loaders, it went back into the box.
Right.
Except for some stuff, but...
So those guys that had that Lawrence card, I guess, got so much backlash that they went back and decided to randomize the card.
How were they going to give it away to begin with?
It was supposed to be like a follower giveaway. I don't know. They do their shit on Twitch. So it was supposed to be like a follower giveaway from what I was kind of told. And then... I don't know. The only justification I've seen for it is somebody that says like, oh, they give away a whole bunch of stuff like this. If this is the one thing that they say they're not gonna give away, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't care if you fucking pull a $50,000 card. If you're saying you're gonna give it away, then you fucking give it away. I don't care how much shit you give away.
Have some integrity, you know.
I do not care how much shit you give away.
We've done giveaways.
I don't care if you fucking...
It's like we've given away jerseys and helmets.
I don't care if you give away a fucking $1,000 each time you break. If you fucking say that you're giving something away, then you give it away. And now it's even more shitty because they're like, oh yeah, so the guy that was supposed to get it doesn't fucking get it. And now they're going to go back and re-randomize it for somebody else to get it after the guy that was supposed to get it just got fucked over. It's like,
you know, hey.
I don't know. I ain't liked him to begin with. Ain't that right?
We're in the business to deliver cards.
I don't know.
That's what we're here for.
The thing is, though,
if I wanted cards for myself, I'd go buy the boxes, and we do it occasionally. You know, we'll open boxes for ourselves on here. We're not giving this stuff away, but
the thing is those guys make more than enough to be able to do what they do. That's the thing with it.
Refresh this.
They make plenty to be able to give away however much they want, or you know, whatever it is that they want to do. It's not like I'm talking about backyard breaks. Yeah. Sent money for Titans.
Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, that's
I was thinking about you earlier, Dennis. Man, I was up there pre-grading a Jerry Rice rookie, and I was like, man, this is a really nice card.
Yeah, it's just it ultimately comes down to integrity, and obviously it was shown in that case that it was not there.
Well,
for whatever reason.
You know what? It's one of those deals where they faltered and kind of...
I don't... It might have been one of those situations, too, where they were under pressure.
We hope so.
And they didn't know what to do, because obviously that's a big card to have. But you guys are like one of the largest...
Dennis, a lot of these cards that I get, you know, that are like... you know... I'll pick them up from a guy. I'm looking at a collection, and I grab them. Well, I pre-grade them before I decide if I want to send them to PSA.
You don't want to send in a shitty card to PSA, so...
So, I use microscope software, scan the card so I can, like, check centering, and... gloss meters to check the gloss on them, and you know, the printing, and I can check the edges and the corners, and
You just don't want to send.
So I have a pretty good idea what I think it's going to be at, not just off naked eye looking at it. And then I decide if I want to send it.
There's some actual method to the madness.
Yeah, absolutely, Austin. You know, if you're going to give it away, you give it away, regardless of what it is.
That's what it comes down to. There's nothing that you can say to justify them trying to keep that card. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. I don't care if they fucking give shit away every fucking break they do. I do not care. If you give something away, then you give it away. I do not care. Did I open an encased box thinking that a fucking 9.5 Justin Herbert 1 of 10 on-card auto was going to come out of it? Fuck no. That's the gamble you take with any high-end box. Ever.
Yeah. You guys pay for it, not us. I mean, we buy the boxes, but they're your cards. The minute you buy the team, they're your cards. Or the minute we say it's a random or, we're giving it away. They're your cards. They're not ours anymore.
I mean, Grant, I don't have an attachment to cards as some people do. I don't have a problem giving away a 20K card. Does it suck to know that I'm not going to have 20K? Fuck yeah, it would suck. But
that's real short-term thinking.
It's honestly,
yeah, exactly, Dennis.
Like, if they would have just given away, they would have probably, the followers that they would have gotten to, giving that away. Imagine being a break group that gave away a $20,000 card. It's not something that happens. And ultimately, if you're I don't think it's really a $20,000 card. It's probably a little less. Just because I think the max sold at 22 or 23. But
yeah, Dennis, I'm not using a paper cutter on cards. They're way too PSA. Here's a quick story about cards from PSA. And this is from the National Convention this year. Zach and I are standing in line and we're picking up cards that I don't know if they were Mike's or whoever it was.
They're Mike's.
We were picking up cards that were dropped off at the show. They were graded. They were, they said they were ready and we were going to pick them up. And there was a guy while we were waiting in line that had gotten his card back, and he drove from, I want to say it was Texas or something, and he drove specifically to bring this card. I want to say it was a Kobe Bryant rookie, and this cat had it from the pack. So it wasn't like he bought it and it got shuffled through all the hands a lot of these cards do. He bought the card from a pack and put it in one of those screw down holders. And he took it out and brought it in to have it graded. And, they graded the card, and it was oversized.
I watch those guys just about every day, and they're usually pretty good. They definitely messed up on this one. I'll be honest with you.
Here's the thing, AJ. When guys do something like that, that's... it's a bad decision and they realized it, but the fact that, you were going to do it.
That's what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to. Because I'm willing to put money on it that if nothing came of this and nobody said anything, these guys were just like, hey, we're going to take this shit, and if nobody said nothing about it, that card would have been fucking either whatever they were going to do with it. Yeah. They would have kept it.
I got
without a doubt.
I got 20 grand, so.
Do you think if there was not a fucking uproar of everybody that they would have quote unquote gave $20K to the local boys and girls club? Fuck no. They wouldn't have. Like,
yeah, Dennis, the oversized thing was the guy had put it into one of those screw down holders and he compressed the card and it spread out, and it was an oversized card. Like, we tell everybody, never put cards into those compression holders.
Come here a little bit closer.
You know, those screw down, like acrylic things.
Put her down.
So this guy got dinged. Now, his card was still graded, I think, like a 9, but he got a qualifier on it.
Even the dog's excited.
That it was oversized.
The dog is not for sale.
Listen, everybody.
You know, which is almost like saying, hey, you got a 9 card, but it's really, you know, a 7 because it's not the right size.
Everybody get your own Goblin Cards hoodie, $30. Check it out.
I don't know
$30. Send me a message. Get your own.
Yeah, right. we want Dennis to take a picture.
The dog is not for sale.
We want Dennis to take a picture in his Goblin Cards hoodie and make it his profile picture.
But yeah, here's the ultimate thing with that whole situation is, if they wouldn't have been called out about it, nothing would have been done about the situation. They would have taken the card. It wouldn't have, and nobody would have said shit. If there wasn't an uproar, it wouldn't have fucking done anything. And they got caught out on their bullshit, and the only reason that they fucking went back on it was because they got called out on it. And to be honest with you, I don't have really anything negative to say about them. Personally, they're not my favorite breaking group.
Who?
Huh?
Who? Goblin Cards Breaking?
Yeah, I fucking hate those guys.
They kind of have a lot.
They're not my favorite breaking group to watch.
Don't leave that box here.
But
right on, Dennis. That would be great, man.
I'm just not happy with the way
we'll put you in one of our Facebook ads.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda done better.
I listened to your PayPal message earlier today, and I was like, yeah. You know, I'll stand by this, man. If you're a breaker, you know, and you're like invested in, you know, selling cards also, you know, like you're a break group running out of a card shop, you know, and your livelihood is selling cards.
They are fucking loud and obnoxious without a fucking doubt. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if that is your thing and that's how you run your shit.
Yeah, I mean, our thing's different, man. I mean, like, we do what we want to do. We argue back and forth. We talk about stuff.
Like, if you want to be loud, and I was talking to whoever about this earlier. I said if there was a one way to explain it, I said, imagine a frat house getting their own breaking group. If that's the way that I could explain it, that's how I would explain it. If a frat house got their own breaking group, that's Backyard Breaks.
You know, and hey, man, it's cool. It's your stick. You know, do what you got to do. Backyard breaks, but you know, don't compromise your integrity. You know, that's just.
I mean, they don't give a fuck about what we say.
My background doesn't allow me to really compromise my integrity. You know, if you say you're gonna do it, then you do it.
Yeah, I just...
You know, no matter what, you know, and that's the thing, is a lot of break groups, you know, they're card collectors too. You know, and when you run a break, and especially when, you know, and I don't think Backyard Breaks would, like, sell a team in a PYT and say, hey, that's a good card, I'm not sending it to you.
No.
You know, I don't think they would ever do that. But when you do a giveaway...
This is strictly coming down to the fact that they did a giveaway and they didn't follow through with it. They said they were going to do a giveaway. Yeah. They were giving away a box. It's not like somebody paid for it and they got cheated out of something. But...
And you guys know us, man. We don't usually, you know, we don't dash other break groups.
And honestly, I have nothing against. I'm gonna be honest.
We just don't do it. I mean, they're doing the same business we are, but a lot of these break groups have different motivations. You know, when they're doing it. I mean, you guys know Zach and I don't PYT like every player.
And I've seen some break groups that, like...
You know, matter of fact, this year I didn't have any player that I really wanted to collect.
I didn't either.
I think this upcoming year there's a couple of them that, you know, from the college side that I'm thinking about, but you know, it's our job to deliver cards.
Right. And I've kind of said this before, like, for me personally, I have the guys, we both have the guys that we like, but there's not really, like, when I think about cards, I think about cards from a not really a long-term standpoint, more of like a short-term standpoint. So, for me, cards aren't as collectible for myself personally as there is other stuff. I mean, obviously, everybody has their own niches. Like, some people do comic books, some people do cards, some people do trains, some people do model cards. Everybody has their own niche that they like to do. For me personally, I have cards. I dabble in them. Just because it's the business I'm in. But personally, a $20,000 card to me is stupid. That's my best way to put it. I think a card, if I can print a picture of somebody's face on it and put a gold background on it and say it's out of 10 and then say it's worth $20,000 seems like that's insane to me. Like, that somebody would pay $20,000 for, especially like a modern card, like somebody that hasn't even like really made a.
Did you actually see this video where they did this?
I did. Yes.
Okay, I didn't see the video, so I'm not gonna down them on it.
I actually saw the video.
But if you saw the video and they did what, where we're keeping the card.
Well, no, this is exactly how it went. I'll give you a play-by-play of how this went. They pull the card, and then the one guy was like, oh my god, blah, 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 that's like a $20,000 card or whatever. And then the other guy was like, oh, that's like a fucking Tesla. Like, we just pulled money for a Tesla or some shit like that. And the one guy, I don't know the guy's names. The guy on the right was like, if it was me, I would keep that card, but it's not up to me. That's like an executive decision for the boss or whatever. I don't know who the fuck the boss is or any of that shit. Again, I don't watch these guys. I don't know enough about them to comment them or say anything about them.
I'm not gonna sting these guys,
And from what I've heard,
if it was just some opinion to keep the card, but
and from what I've heard, these guys, they're not bad. Like
no, I've never heard anything bad about these guys actually. So,
I have heard.
Man, I wish them the best of luck. I mean, I've never heard anything bad about them.
I have heard some minor complaints.
Well, every break group's going to have minor complaints.
When I was at the National, I heard some people talking about them. And that was the first time that I've heard of them. But it seems like it's one of those things that's like, Nikki. Okay, so Nikki was the one that was like, I would keep that card if it was me, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. I can't get behind it. I can't get behind it.
You know, hey, man, maybe that was just a breaker's, you know, I don't know how their business is set up, so, you know.
I mean, you watch them more frequently than we do, AJ.
I don't know how their business is set up and the structure of it and who's in charge and who's not and who makes decisions, you know. But if you just got a breaker out there doing it and going, oh, I'd keep the card, you know, that in no way alone says that break group, you know, is saying let's keep the card. You know, it's like any business. You know, your employees, because they think, you know, whatever they think, you know, doesn't mean that translates to what the break group thinks.
I think these guys have honestly learned from their lessons. They have a fantastic following. They seem like one of those groups. Yeah. That's from what I've heard. They do insane amounts of breaks. It sounds like they give back pretty frequently to the community.
You know, and if they're doing that much, it's probably just a breaker who said it. You know, he made a bad statement.
I mean,
I don't think that. You know, I'm not going to fault the guys for it because I don't know the break group that well.
I think this is kind of like
But it sounds like what I'm hearing is that was just a random statement made by a breaker.
From what I kind of put together, it kind of sounds like Leighton where they have multiple breakers that do the same sort of job.
Exactly. They've got a breaker who knows the card's worth $20,000. Hey, I'd keep the card. You know?
I don't know if... Well...
And that's not at all what...
From what I kind of put together, it sounded like they were legitimately keeping the card, and then this whole backlash thing started, and then they were like, oh, we're going to donate $20,000 to the local kids charity, or local kids shelter, or whatever, which is fine. But to add on to that, you probably should show some sort of proof that you actually did donate $20,000 to...
Keep my 101 30K trio. Dennis, I would never keep a card ever. But I'll send it directly to the auction house for you if you want me to.
Oh yeah, we handle high dollar cards all the time. That's not anything that's new.
No, I think that whole thing is some breaker, you know, is probably being paid by him to break cards, you know, doesn't have any investment in the company or the brand.
What's your real thoughts about it, AJ? I mean, as I said, you watch this more often.
A break group that big, I can't, you know, I have a hard time believing that, you know, the company itself would...
From what I've put together, they're pretty fucking big. I mean, from at least what I've seen.
Yeah, but I don't believe the people who are running it would.
No, I can't
go
imagine.
along with that.
No.
It was just a random statement, probably made by somebody, and you know, Hey guys, we don't wish you any ill will. You know, we know people say stuff and it's just the way it is, but and nowadays you make the wrong statement and you're going to get jumped all over. So, you know, get the card to whoever it's supposed to be and
to be honest, I guess it's different when you're in that situation. I mean, there's a lot of skeevy breakers out there. They always give hobby packs away and very generous to someone.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean,
AJ, I'm you know, and Zach and I don't really talk bad about other breakers.
I have nothing bad to
You
say
know,
about
and
anyone unless
generally we don't, unless they truly are scammers.
I will never down anybody unless they give me a reason.
I think this was an issue where a breaker opened a card, got excited, did, you know, said something that took the whole
Oh shit.
you know, and I'm sure that that wasn't the intention, but somebody sees it and they're jumping all over it.
What the fuck? I'm working on it. Hold on. I'm trying my best.
We're trying to get it, Dennis. Trying to get it up there, brother.
I have to adjust the thing.
Hey, Bob the Cattle Rustler calling. How you doing over there, Goblin Cards? I see you got a live feed going, talking about some kind of backyard bone fun or something breaking, giving away 20K worth of something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, listen, if you guys break one of those cards for Raider, that 30K, 20K card or whatever it is, hey, make sure you send it to him, okay? He's a good guy. He'd really like it if you could send it to him. Just funning with you guys. Okay, have a good night. Bye.
Thank you.
Right on, Dennis. You're awesome, brother.
Raider Bruce Lee has been with us for...
Raider Bruce Lee.
He has been with us for...
He started
almost
with us.
2 years now.
Yeah.
I think our anniversary
Yeah.
is in April, so coming up on 2 years.
Our brother.
That Nicky dude is a loose cannon, though. I've heard some whack shit about how they do stuff.
I very rarely watch
I
other breaks unless I'm trying to look at a break for a new product and I want to see what it looks like. I don't follow, you know, me personally, Zach may. I don't really follow other breakers. But yeah, the whole thing seems to me like some breaker made, you know, probably not a good statement while he was on air. You know, even though he probably knew that, you know, hey, it's a $20,000 card, but we said we're giving it away. But, you know, maybe he personally, if he was a collector or he was an investor or he's a flipper, was like, yeah, I'd keep that card. You know, I don't believe an established break group would ever do anything like that.
The extent of who I follow break-wise is whoever I watch on YouTube. I don't typically watch live breaks.
No, I never watch live breaks.
Mainly because I do it so often that it's not entertaining for me to to watch other people do it.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy watching videos.
I like watching breaks on YouTube only because I'm trying to see what products look like, not because I'm looking for cool cards or anything like that.
I'll tell you.
I'm looking for what the card set looks like, not any particular, cards that I'm like, oh God, I wish I had that.
My favorite breaker, quote unquote breaker, that break only for themselves. Loot Box TV. If you haven't watched any of their stuff, their shit
Right on, Dennis.
is absolutely fantastic. If you're ever bored and you all watch somebody open high-end product for themselves,
it's interesting. I watch it, but again, I watch it for I'm trying to look at the card set itself and what what's the layout look like.
do you remember when
But
we were
the guys that open the cards for themselves, I'm like, I those are different than when we just watch random breakers like do a break of Illusions because it came out. But the guys that open the card sets for themselves or open the boxes for themselves, even when the high end, low end, I don't really care. The excitement those guys have when they open their own cards. They're not breaking. They're opening boxes that we want to see what they look like. They're opening them. And the excitement those guys have when they do it is, it's worth the video itself.
Do you remember when we were at dinner at the steakhouse and there was the two guys, it was the card shop owners of...
Oh, got another
I'm trying to remember.
message.
The card shop owners of...
That were sitting behind us.
Yeah, well... It would have been behind you, I think. It would have been in front of me.
They were the ones that were sitting...
Louisville sports cards.
Yeah.
They were sitting with Louisville
They
sports
were the
cards.
ones that they sat there, and Pete Rose was actually...
Correct.
Over to the caddy corner to them.
So, Loot Box TV was the two guys that were sitting with Louisville sports cards. Gin and Juice. They are my favorite. I love watching their videos. Just because they only open for themselves. They don't care about anybody else.
Hello, Goblin Cards. Kim Jong-un calling from North Korea. Just want to let you know, if you get any Tom Brady 20K cards, I will pay full price. I love Tom Brady. So fun. Okay, have a nice night. Bye.
Dennis.
That was good.
I'm going to Alaska next year.
I'll pay full price.
I'm going to Alaska. I'm going to the North Pole next year.
Dennis, you should come to the fucking National.
Atlantic City, brother.
You're going to see your wife.
I'm going to hang out with Dennis.
Howard's going to be there. Howard's coming to the National.
Howard's going to National?
Howard's going to
right
National.
on. All right. Let's get everybody to go to National in Atlantic City. July.
If you're a cool kid, go to the National. Yeah,
National's a blast, man. I had a phenomenal
was
time
fun.
there.
And I was talking about this earlier before you came. As long as you're careful with how much you spend, you will walk out with more than what you pay to get there.
Yeah. Actually, if you're there for the entire week and you can grab all of the national convention,
Beckett, scavenger hunt.
yeah, if you
eBay.
grab all of the national convention, like promo stuff. You know, and remember when you go through the scavenger hunts, they give you that shit at the end.
Yeah, we got cut
We
out.
got
Ty.
PSA cards. We got cut out Ty Cobb cards. I mean, you know, it's cool. And you just do it day over day.
And nobody says shit to you. Nobody. Like, I know for some conventions, eBay seems to be doing a lot more conventions as time goes on, I've noticed. And they did a convention, I don't remember what one it was. It was an entertainment convention.
Well, they do all of them.
But they did like exclusive Post Malone cards that they did for their sort of con. And it seems like eBay keeps doing these collaborations at these different events to be able to continue. I mean, the amount of traffic at the eBay booth that entire weekend, nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop. Just because they got DJ Ski to come sign some cards, and they did a limited run of 2021 eBay cards.
And they did them at like Comic-Con though too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a Post Malone like Pokemon card. They did a Post Malone Magic the Gathering card. They've done all sorts of stuff.
That's a cool card.
Is that one of yours, Dennis?
101 XR.
Yeah, that shield.
I just noticed that, and it's like, that is...
Next month? I thought it was in a
Shit hot.
couple weeks.
Zach and I were actually talking about that earlier today. 500 first cards. Cool. Zach and I were talking because I bring up, like, our biggest thing when we sort cards when it comes to, like, draft pick sets, you know, like Contenders or Prism or anybody, you know, is a lot of, like, older players. And we're trying to figure out what team we push them to, because, you know, they're in college unis. And I had I don't even remember what the name of the set was, but I had like an NFL stat thing where I could go and I could look at,
It's
like,
in the email somewhere.
a former, you know, a vet player, and I can bring up what teams they play for. Well, I happened to run across it today, and
I still have your 501st cards. Hold on.
yeah, they're in there.
Here. There's your Alaskan Garrison patch. And here's all your cards. There's one that you signed, your Stormtrooper, your Tusken Raider, your other Tusken Raider, your other Tusken Raider, and then you sent me blanks of all of them. I kept all of them. I got all of them. I know exactly where they are. Yeah. Definitely cool. I super cool to have them. They're awesome. You retired your Stormtrooper though, didn't you? You're not doing that anymore. You went just full-blown Raider now, aren't you?
Are you on Wikipedia, Dennis?
At 501st merchandise. I was And I know how valuable 501st coins are. Everybody acts like those are...
Yes, AJ, we have.
Yes, I have.
I have committed myself to this month to
Catching
back.
up on all Star Wars.
go back. I originally watched all these Star Wars movies and the episode numbers. You know, what was 9? 1 through 9.
Yeah.
So I watched them all 1 through 9, and they're all just like, I'm like, I saw the original in, 1978 in the theater. And I saw, the few that were after that. I didn't realize until recently, and I probably should have, that they're all like prequels and all this other stuff. So I was sick last week, and I'm like, you know what? We got way too much of the Star Wars stuff coming through here. I need to understand the flow of this whole Star Wars thing.
I watched.
So I was like, I'm gonna put it in not necessarily chronological order by year, but chronological order by how this story flows.
Yeah, if you try to do it by year, it won't work.
So I'm about a third of the way through of doing it and it's making a lot more sense to me now. Because I watched all the movies, and now I'm trying to watch them in chronological order of how the movie flows, not the years they were made.
Yeah, that dude is in every movie, it seems like.
Danny Trejo?
Yes.
He's awesome, man.
He is he makes a cameo in everything.
Every time I look at him, he's like, I think to myself, you know what? I wish Danny Trejo would have worked for me in Iraq. I would have turned his ass loose to just fucking slaughter.
I swear to
everything.
God, that guy does not age either. I don't think that guy has aged a day in the last 10 years.
10 years? Look at him 30 years ago. He's still...
Yeah, that dude does cameos in everything.
He's awesome.
There's so much that goes into Star Wars, and unless you know...
That was my thing, is I've watched, I wasn't a big Star Wars follower. It was a cool movie when I saw it in the theater when it first came out, and I'm sure they didn't...
It's because your son's a Star Wars nerd.
I'm sure they didn't forecast that it was going to be what it was back when they first made it.
Oh, 100% no. They thought when Star Wars was made, they thought it was going to be a complete
I think
flop.
Episode 1, 2, and 3 were sequential, and then they started getting into the, going back and...
Technically, the way that it was made in 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. That was the sequential order.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and I probably saw all those sequentially, and they made sense. And then I watched 1, 2, 3. I watched all 9 of them, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm not following this. And then when I realized after Zach started into it, I'm like, I missed something somewhere. Because this whole thing doesn't make sense to me. I follow it to a point, and then it is backwards and forwards, and
they say Rogue One is the best movie to show somebody that's first getting into Star Wars, because it's a solo title. It doesn't follow on to anything else really, and if they like that, that's when you put them on to the Skywalker saga. But yes, Star Wars is an absolute masterpiece through and through. It is.
I'm feeling more comfortable now because I followed through 1, 2, and 3, which I'm aware of.
I will always be a diehard Star Wars fan. It is my favorite cult out of all of them.
Well, yeah. Now I feel like I shouldn't say I watched 1, 2, and 3. I started watching them in chronological order, which was what 4, 5, and 6.
Chronological order.
As far as the story goes, not
Story goes
year
1,
wise.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No, but if I watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's not the chronological order
Yeah, it is.
of the movie itself, of the story, not.
Yeah, 1 through 9. If you watch 1 through 9, I'm not talking 1
Oh
through 9 by
yeah.
release
The way
date.
they label them.
I'm
the way
talking
they label
if you go off
Okay.
the way that they label them,
No,
1 through 9. It's
You're
a full
right.
story.
You're right. 1, 2, 3 is actually after 4, 5, and 6.
As
Or 4, 5, and 6 is before 1, 2, and 3 as far as the story.
the story goes as it's labeled. So, episode 1, Phantom Menace. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Episode
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Episode 4.
Yeah, okay.
Like, as it goes down, like 1 through 9, as it is labeled, is how you have to watch it for it to make sense. If you watch it in the dates that they were
Yeah,
released,
like he says, 4, 5, and 6 is you watch, and then 1, 2, and 3, and then 7, 8, and 9.
that's the release dates. That's how they were released. That's not how you should watch them if you're trying to watch them in chronological order.
Well, no, I actually brought up, and I don't have my thing here with me, but I actually brought them up on like story order.
Yes. The way
And that's the way I've been watching them.
the way yes.
And I don't remember which episodes they were.
The
but-
way that you have it on that list is the way that you should be watching them.
And then they have all of like the insert ones in there, like Clone Wars from 2008 and 2000.
Which
And then Han Solo and
again, Rogue One standalone. Solo is just earlier life of Han Solo. That predates before Episode 4.
yeah, A New Hope was the first movie. Episode 4.
Episode 4 was the first one made, but if you're watching in chronological order, that doesn't make sense. Technically speaking.
I'm trying to watch it in the order where, you know, what I've gathered at this point is the first one was this little Anakin.
Yes.
Then Anakin becomes
When he was
Jedi.
a pod racer slave.
Then he goes to this. Then he becomes a Jedi Slayer, and you know, so and then he becomes Darth Vader.
There's
You know, so that's I want to get the progression the right way to understand.
and there's
it.
things that will. There's characters that you'll watch all of those movies and you still won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because technically it's canon. Because canon goes off the books as well. Darth Revan. Darth Malgus. You probably, if you watch all 9 of the movies, Cad Bane, you have no idea who the fuck Cad Bane is. There's going to be so many of these characters, and it's so extended.
If he's not in the movie, I don't care.
He's in Clone Wars, though. But, you know, there's bits and pieces.
The Clone Wars series between 2008 and 2020.
Right.
So, I'm trying to track myself back into it. I'm getting there. But any of you Star Wars hawks, man, I'll probably never fully understand. If you have access to all of everything in it. Because I think a lot of those, like, especially those animation ones, if you start watching those, if you don't know where they're really inserted at in the story, you're just kind of assed out.
Once you watch through, if you watch through the original 9, and then you jump into any of those animated series, typically if you have the story memorized, you can fit where it goes. So like the Clone Wars, like you're talking about, Order 66 is executed. Okay, that's episode 3. That's where that fits on the timeline. So once you actually watch it,
well, that's the thing is, I think you have to have like a good understanding of a solid timeline of the story, not the chronological year that it came out.
Right.
But you have to have a good, solid understanding of the chronological story in order to be able to tell where those spin-offs are actually in the story.
Well, and then there's also other clues that go with it too, because you're talking like if you're watching Clone Wars and you see Anakin as a Jedi Knight, you're like, oh shit, this has to be before episode 3 because that's when, you know,
Yeah,
like
he flipped out.
Yeah, so like it's obviously not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 because then he's fucking Darth Vader. So obviously it takes place either at 1, 2, 3. Well, episode 1, he's a child, so it's not episode 1.
Right.
So it's either episode 2 or 3. So it fits in somewhere there. So it's like as long as you understand,
well, that's
that sort of understanding.
That's where I'm getting more educated on it. Right on, Dennis.
We're doing cards as soon as we fill the break.
How's it going, Devin? Who's your favorite team, brother?
We got personal rips as well if you're interested.
Yep. Always want to know who's looking for who. Personal teams are always the thing.
If you're a Texans fan, you're not allowed.
Not true. Green Bay. Good choice, my friend. Good choice.
We got a few Green Bay guys.
Good choice. I'm really pushing for Aaron Rodgers to be the MVP.
For the second year in a row.
Hey man, I think he deserves it. I mean, just gotta say.
I don't know if he'd be my top pick, but I don't mind Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, man, he does. He's a top-rated passer in the NFL, and you know, I try and get by the, you know, attempted passes, completed passes, touchdowns. You know, how efficient are you as a quarterback? And I think he's the, you know, my opinion, I think he's the most efficient quarterback in the NFL right now. You know, I don't think you can look at one stat line and say that's the greatest guy.
I think Joe Burrow should be getting something.
You know what? Surprisingly, after I was looking at that site I gave you, I was surprised at how good he really was.
He did very, very good.
I would have thought Justin Herbert would have been much better than him, based off of how the Chargers were doing.
Have you looked at like all the
I
rankings?
was absolutely surprised at how well. I mean, the guy gets sacked all the time. He's throwing a lot of interceptions, but the rest of his stats are. He's really good.
I think Amit's going to end up panning out pretty well because of it.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Burrow's, he's no joke, man. Couple more years, they start building that team around him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same thing with like Mac Jones. You know, all these running quarterbacks and these new quarterbacks they got. The NFL is moving to if you're not a quarterback, that's a triple threat. You're not a quarterback. Like Tom Brady. I mean, granted, he was a 6th round pick when he was drafted out of Michigan. Although he was very fun to watch when he was at Michigan. I rooted for him all the time when he was playing for Michigan, especially when they played Notre Dame. But you know, Brady is probably, you know, besides Aaron Rodgers and a couple of the really older guys, they're the last throwbacks to those stand in the pocket quarterbacks.
Matt Ryan.
You know, they're the last ones. You know, the whole NFL is moving to quarterbacks that can throw, run. Hell, even Aaron Rodgers fucking caught a pass this year. You know, so they're moving to these guys that, you know, and I'm like,
I mean, when you look at a lot of these guys that are top draft picks, I mean, you have Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes.
You've seen it start to develop in probably 2015, 2016. You know, like Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Jackson. You know, all these guys. If you're going to be a quarterback now, you better be able to take off and you better be able to run.
Without a doubt.
And you better be able to pass.
Right.
You know, the old days of, you know, standing back in the pocket, you know, and luckily Tampa Bay's pulled it off because they're able to protect, well, other than the fact he's got the highest sack percentage in the NFL.
No, I think that's Burrow does.
No, it's Brady, I think.
I thought it was Burrow.
No, it's Brady. And, you know, other than that fact, I think it's Brady. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm mixing different categories, but I think he's, like, got the highest sack percentage and, you know, Burrow, I think, has the highest, like, interception percentage.
Hold on. Hold up. I thought it was. I might be wrong.
Oh, I could be wrong, too. I mean, I look at so many stats on him. I was like, all right, really, who's the guy that's the quarterback that really should be MVP? Because it's not going to be a running back or anybody else.
Okay, so Joe Burrow sacked 51 times.
Yeah, but look at the...
Tom Brady isn't on that list.
Oh, no. Keep going down. Sack percentage.
What is that? What is sack percentage?
Well, it's probably how many times he sacked per game.
Well, that's not his overall sack. I mean, that could be just he has one bad game and he got sacked a few times.
Well, could be.
I mean, I don't really think that's fair to judge him off of
Well, it doesn't really matter because they do it by total numbers, not
For
one
sack
game.
percentage, they do?
Oh, everything in there is by game. It's totals by the number of games they play, which we're through the regular season now, so those are the totals.
But that doesn't make sense because why does Mac Jones have a 5% sack percentage?
It's probably big. Well, I don't know what the
Hold on.
math was on it,
What is sack percent?
but I'm guessing it's number of snaps versus number of sacks.
It's telling me what a sack is. I don't need to know what it is.
It's actually in there. If you go to
That don't work.
Oh, go to Tom Brady. Scroll down and look at
There's his passing.
passing stats. That's for his whole career.
Is this it right here?
Go.
SK percent. Time sacked when. Okay, so percentage of time sacked when attempting to pass. Time sacked divided by passes attempted and the time sacked.
Yeah. So what they're saying is he dropped back to pass, and he didn't pass, and he got sacked.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean he has the lowest percentage? I mean, if that's how they calculate it, then he has the lowest percentage of everybody. That means he's the highest.
Time sack divided by.
Oh, it's going back. I mean, unless my math is wrong, but if that's what that means, then that means that he has the lowest sack percentage of everybody because everybody else keeps going down.
Yeah, that could be.
Because there's no way. I mean, look at who's on top.
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, that means that he has to have the least amount of sacks.
Well, let
when
me think
he's
about the
passing.
math.
Because you have Josh
So,
Allen,
you drop back
Patrick
to
Mahomes.
pass, been sacked 5 times. Drop back to pass. Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
no,
that-
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Because Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes, that's a lot of higher end quarterbacks. I mean, and the percent keeps going higher and higher. So if that's how that's calculated, that means that he's technically the
Okay,
least sacked
and
guy.
look at passing TD perception or percentage.
Aaron Rodgers is one. Pass interceptions. So yeah. So in like this case, Aaron Rodgers has the lowest pass interceptions of everybody.
Right. I mean, all those breakdown statistics, if you can get by, he's thrown more touchdowns. He's, I think the next closest guy that's thrown as many passes as he has is 50 passes away. I mean, like a full game of passes.
Yeah, I think.
But if you scroll down to... No, go look at the quarterback rating.
Where you see that?
That's the be-all, end-all. It's up. It should be right up there at the top.
Passing leader is Tom Brady. Rushing leader is Jonathan Taylor. Receiving leader is Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but they're only doing by yards. So go to what is the year-to-date ones?
This is year to date. This is 2021.
Okay, so let's see, passing yards. So he's got passes completed, pass attempts. Okay, but expand this. He's thrown for almost 50 times more than anybody else. That's the one you want, is the rating.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
That's where I was saying, if you're if your passer rating, you know, and he's not even close to being at the top.
How do they calculate a passer rating though?
There's actually if you go to, if you click on the player, and you go down to where it does the passer rating one, keep going down. Those are just games.
That's advanced passing. Rushing and receiving, defenses and fumbles, scoring, snaps.
No, go back up because they have a look for passer rating in one of those.
Hold on, rate. There you go.
Okay, so if you click on, if you look on that, it should tell you how they calculate it. Yeah. Oops.
It's laggy. Different range used by. Okay, so that's their
Glossary.
rating.
So go down and look at the glossary, and it should tell you.
Minimum 1,500 pass attempts to qualify as career leader. Minimum 150 pass for playoffs.
Well, they have like different things for whether it's by the year or whether it's by the.
I don't see a glossary.
They have a thing on it, but that's usually like.
But technically
That's how they
speaking,
rate quarterbacks, is the quarterback rating.
here's a question for y'all. Who gets Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I don't
Wow.
I don't want to say it. It's gonna be Mac.
Yep,
I mean, that's
I called it.
it's gonna be Mac.
I mean, it could be a receiver.
Jamar Chase.
Could be Jamar Chase. I think it's going to be Mac Jones. That's just, I was calling that after he got drafted, that he's getting put in the perfect place for what he was. And he's not done bad.
No.
You know, yeah, he's done rookie shit where he's thrown interceptions and got sacked, and well, when it's close, when it's close, I think it's always going to go to a QB. If Chase was, you know, and Chase did extremely well.
He did fantastic.
You know, but when it comes to, when it gets close, it's usually a QB.
That's
If he would have, like, you know, like super outperformed, then it would be hard not to consider him.
I think
Who was the offensive rookie last year? Was it
Justin Herbert.
Herbert?
Yeah. Which I have a feeling it's just how it goes. I mean,
It doesn't have to be a quarterback, but if, like, everybody's close, it's probably going to be a quarterback.
yeah, I have a good feeling that it'll
Oh.
end up being Mac.
Only because a lot of these people seem to think that quarterbacks win games by themselves. You know, and they're supposed to be the leader of the team, so therefore if, you know, they do well, Yeah. Yeah, Jefferson did. Actually, he's done really well this year too. You know, Jefferson's done a great job. I think out of the receivers that were drafted, I mean, I think he's done probably the best.
Justin
We got
Jefferson.
Devontae Parker and Jamar Chase and
Running back wise, though, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're talking like, I think Jonathan Taylor deserves something too. Jonathan Taylor played stupid this year. Like,
oh yeah, he's undoubtedly, I think, the best running back this year.
like, Jonathan Taylor did better than some of these
Derrick
big guys.
Henry, Nick Chubb. Jonathan Taylor kicked ass this year. Yeah, and you're right. You know, the Pats made the playoffs, so we'll see where that ends up at.
Who's Cam Newton with? Broncos?
Is that where he ended up at?
I thought he ended up. Hold on, I'm gonna look.
I haven't even heard of him playing. Yeah, Brady or Rodgers are going to be the MVP.
No, Panthers. Fuck. Panthers.
Although me personally, Brady wouldn't be in my top 5.
That's only because Brady has consistently performed and shown. I mean,
No, it's not. It's not. If I look at it in total and I get away from the, you know, the one stat item, oh, he's thrown more touchdowns than everybody. Well, yeah, but he's thrown the ball a hell of a lot more because Tampa Bay relies on him to throw the ball.
yeah.
That, you know, when we start looking at efficiencies and quarterback ratings and a lot of the other stuff, there's better quarterbacks than him. Panthers, yeah. Scam Newton.
Did you say Scam Newton?
That's what he's got on there.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, I'm not discounting Brady. I mean, the guy's phenomenal. You know, but just because you throw the most touchdowns and you complete the most passes in a scheme that allows you to do it, doesn't make you the best quarterback.
I'm not a Brady dick licker, so.
No, I'm not taking anything away from him. The guy's thrown like, he's well yards wise as far as passing and touchdowns, and although his passes per attempt are not the top.
What the fuck? Yeah, I'm definitely not a Tom Brady dong sucker, but I'll give him his credit.
I'll give him his credit where it's done, but I am not ever, and anybody that's ever really watches it should not say because you threw the most touchdowns in the NFL that season, you're the MVP. You know, I mean, what does that really say about the NFL?
That they suck Tom
As
Brady.
long as you get with a team that only relies on you to throw the ball, and you run up you run up numbers, that makes you the best player. It's like, no. You know, I think there's a lot of quarterbacks, drop them into where Tom Brady is now, and in that scheme and the way they do it, they could put up equal numbers. Yeah, exactly. The more you throw, the more you're going to get intercepted. And anybody that thinks that and I think Tom Brady's right up there in third, fourth place as far as pick sixes.
Yeah, he's up there. That one I think you are spot on about.
You know, I mean, he's a great quarterback. You know, guy's a legend. You know, I commend him for the career he's had. You know, I'm hoping he gives it up after this year before he turns into a turd bowl. But, you know, one of those guys that wants to stay too long to try and prove something. You know,
I don't think though.
dude, you've done your damage. Get out. Be considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Here's the thing though, if this season was bad for him, I would agree, and I would say yeah, he needs to get the fuck out. Like he's gonna shoot himself in the foot, but he's playing well.
No, and exactly that. And that's when these quarterbacks need to leave. They don't need to leave in the season where the wheels come off and, you know, they get replaced by some rookie, you know, halfway through the season because they're hurt, whatever. You know, and then that's Brett Favre. Rest my case.
Understandable.
You know, hey, I won Super Bowls in Green Bay. I'm going to go to the Vikings now. You know, grab your accolades and move on.
Yeah.
Be remembered as what you are now.
I don't think he'll give
Which
it up.
is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You know, now you're never going to get me to agree that he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Oh, we're well aware.
Well, no, because the only thing that is brought up when they try and say that is how many Super Bowls he's won.
I really don't care if he is or he isn't. It don't matter to me.
Well, the thing that no one seems to realize is the Super Bowl didn't exist until 1967. You know, what about the other 50 years of football that didn't have a Super Bowl?
Favre's stint with the Jets.
Oh, yeah. Yep. He's another one that's, you know, Big Ben's. I think this is his last year. I think he's gonna hang up the cleats now.
At this point, I don't really care if Tom Brady gives it up or not. It don't matter to me.
No, I don't care. I mean, he's had a phenomenal career. You know, he's played years longer than anyone else. You know, which allows you to run up, make you the scoring leader, and
well, it's not
all
even
that other stuff.
I don't care about the rest of it, but it's exactly as he said. Like, this career that he has, like, this year was one of, like, his, like, best seasons that he's had. Like, he's consistently breaking his own records.
But here's the thing. Tom Brady's an old guy.
No doubt.
Okay?
Without a doubt.
Irregardless of what people think, his body's gonna break down.
Oh,
And
yeah.
do you want to be that quarterback that, hey, I decided to play an extra season, and 3 games into the season, I get busted up and I'm out the rest of the season and I can't play anymore. You're that guy that just couldn't stop.
Well, I guess with that being said, you can only hope that he has the knowledge, or at least the knowing of his own body to know when quits is quits.
Well, quits is quits. I mean, and that's the thing, is he's played so long. I think he believes that as long as he plays well, he can keep on playing. And it's like, Father Time doesn't agree with you, bro. I don't care what you think. I can't run 6-minute miles anymore. I can't do 110 sit-ups in 2 minutes. Sorry, I'm too freaking old.
Right.
I don't care how much I train and what I do, it's never going to happen.
Right.
They fill eventually. I think we're going to start getting them filled quicker because we're doing a lot of marketing stuff now. So we should start getting hopefully a lot of new people in. Which will be cool because we'll be able to do a lot of different cool stuff then. And if we start getting enough people in, I think we're going to go back to where we'll do like one night a week. We're going to throw down auctions again. Auctions were always fun. I mean, we did auctions for... that was our main thing for a while. Those Beanie Babies? Or Hot Wheels?
They are Hot Wheels.
McDonald's Hot Wheel cars?
Correct.
God, I bet those are worth money.
About $15.
Huh?
About $15
For all of them or per piece?
for all of them.
Really?
I mean, they're probably worth more, but they just ran on auction. The thing was he bought like a $4,000 Hot Wheel collection, and there was a bunch of good stuff, and there was a bunch of junk shit, and this was part of the junk shit, so he's like, just fucking get rid of it at this point. I don't want it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to run it on a cheap auction. Whoever wants it can grab it. That's what a lot of this stuff is. It's just stuff that needs to move. That's what I got so many boxes right now because I'm doing like an inventory wipe.
We got a lot of guys that like auctions, AJ.
I loved auctions. I mean, they're fun. The only thing that...
Auctions are great, but you just got to have enough people in there because
That's the catch.
we can't have 3 guys bidding against each other and no-sell teams. And
That's the biggest catch of all of it. If you have enough people...
I think the last auction we ran was our 1-year anniversary.
Very possible.
And I know a lot of guys jump back in there like, man, we love the auctions.
I think we tried to do them. We were going to start doing them every Wednesday, and we stopped doing them because we just didn't have...
Yeah, we got to get enough people.
We just didn't have enough people. And it's like, we recognize that everybody runs on different pay schedules as well. Like, not everybody gets the same... everybody has times that they can spend money. And, I might be low on money this week because, I don't get paid until this day. I don't get this, I don't get this. And it's like, I always try to work with everybody that's in that situation. As much as I can, that is. As much as I can. if we can get more people in here, I would definitely not hesitate to go back to doing auctions again.
Yeah, we will get back to doing auctions again, I'm sure.
Because they were fun. I like doing them.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, it's a blast.
They take a little bit of time. That was the main reason why we stopped doing them, was because they took a while to get through. But shit, I mean, we're on here for hours at a time anyways. So what?
Yeah, it usually takes us, what do we run them for, 1 minute per team? So
yeah.
it'd take us 45 minutes to an hour to get everything, you know, kind of sold out. But they were fun, man. It was fun watching you guys just go at each other over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm ready for Zenith too, man. Me too. I'm right there with you. But I think tonight we're just going to close it up, call it good, because it's not looking like we're going to finish up tonight, sadly. So I think we're just going to close it up for the night, call it good. We've been on for almost 3 hours. No. It's 11:06. We got 8:30. 9:30, 10:30. So yeah, almost 3 hours now. So I think, I mean, we're not really moving too many teams here, which is all right. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do the same thing tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll move some more teams and we'll call it at that. And tomorrow night we won't be on, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll fill over the weekend. Maybe we can jump on, do a weekend break. I don't know. We'll see. So, all right, AJ, you have a good night, buddy. Have a good night. Anybody that's watching,